Hey, Big Rich, with another iPhone iPad settings update. Today we're going to talk about privacy settings on the iPhone or iPad. So privacy settings let you go in and determine what applications can use what information on your device. And they tend to all want to request access to your personal information. So you may want to go through and open up the settings app in privacy and look at each of the applications and what information they're sharing off of your phone. I mentioned in an earlier tutorial on battery life, location services. So you actually find location services under the privacy menu and can go in also and turn on location services for the various apps. So let's take you into the privacy settings and show you how to do that. All right, privacy controls on iPhone or iPad. So again, you're looking for the settings menu, which is the gear. Open it up. And again, from the bottom, scroll down and you'll eventually come across privacy. It's the hand, kind of the last one in the big first grouping there. Select privacy. And again, you'll see one, location services, right? So, that's using your phone and letting apps determine where you're at in the world and potentially communicating that out to other people and or helping you find your phone or find your iPad. So there's GPS, you use it for maps, use it for maybe jogging and running, tracking your route, looking for where your phone might be locating, having others know where you're at. So let's go into location services here. And again, you can turn it all on and off. I'm going to clearly leave it on here. I use it for a lot of things. I use it for Waze, I use it for Google Maps, Apple Maps. You can go in and share your location with others, right? So that's another option, and let's just turn that on so others can find and see my location, right? So family and friends messages, people can figure out where I'm at based on share my location. I'm going to leave that turned on for now. And then you can go into each of your, let's go into each of your apps, right? And for each app, you can tell it, use location services while it's on, or use it all the time, right? So, for example, ESPN app, right? I have it turned on while using. Google while using. Google Maps while using. So let's just go into one of these. I'll go into Google Maps. And I can say, while using the app, always or never, right? Always means it's always on. If Google wants to use it, even if I'm not using the app, it's on in the background. So apps that might use location services in the background, for example, write messages could be one of those. Find My Phone could be one of those. I have a smart home app. Big Rich is into a little bit of smart house technology, started it years ago. And so I was using my iPhone as one of the signals for my home automation to let it know when I was in the house, which means that my iPhone is always sending out locations right to the internet on an all too frequent basis and killing my phone. So that part of my smart house no longer exists. I have that turned off. So I recommend that you only leave these turned on while using. A lot of these apps don't even need to use location services. You can just turn it off, right? So certain things do, like if you want to search for restaurants in your area, you really want that turned on for Siri and search, right? Or Safari websites. So the things that you want to work based on your geographic location, clearly keep it on while using. Others, just turn it off. So there you have it. Location services, right? So I have that turned on. I'm going to go back in and share my location because Big Rich likes to keep a little privacy going on in his life, right? So you may consider that for some of these other apps where you may or may not want people to know where you're at. Turn them off if you want. I don't think you're ever going to just want to turn off all location services. You might, but if you're out messing around, I wouldn't be on Facebook, and I certainly would have location services maybe turned down. So just don't do that is the better answer. Oh, so let's go through the second tier menu. I almost got out too soon. So that's location services and then privacy. So this is whether or not apps can use the private information on your phone. Okay, that was location services. Now let's talk about whether or not you're going to allow certain apps to use the information on your phone. So we'll go into calendars, for example, right? The calendar app. And do I want to let it see Google Calendar? Do I want to let it see WebEx? Sure, why not? So I'll leave that turned on. What other things might we understand? Let's look at microphone. So do we want these apps to access the microphone on our iPhone or our iPad, right? And so again, if you do like text to typing from the keyboard, you may need that turned on. If you do text input for some of these applications, you want it turned on. Others, you certainly can turn it off, right? So I have it on for most of them. I probably don't care as much as I should. Others, right? So health services. Who do I want to what apps do I want to let see my health information, right? So that's a separate app. We'll take you through that at some point. Right now I'm saying it's okay for clock, lose it, or messages. So why lose it, right? Let's talk about that for a second. Well, lose it is my application that tracks my calories and exercise, right? So Big Rich is always monitoring what's going on. A little bit into fitness. And then you can tell it what kinds of information that you want it to share with your app, right? And I have most of these turned off right now. I typically share calorie count, but I've decided I like to enter that myself and control it. The health app is not so great at entering it. So anyways, that's privacy. You decide who gets to see what information from your phone, right, and what app does. So you might want to look at that every now and again to see what apps are using what private information. And then, right, you have analytics. What do you want Google? What data do you want to send back to Google to make their apps and phone better? I share everything mostly because I don't really use a wheelchair, so I don't need to do that. But everything else, I let analytics go back to Apple. Hopefully they're continuing to improve all their tools to help us do a better job. And again, advertising, limit ad tracking, right? I probably should turn that on because I really don't like ads. So anyways, you can go into privacy settings and control location services. So what apps can see where you're at, who can see where you're at, what information certain apps can get from your phone to use to make their apps work better, right? And what do you want to share back with Apple and analytics? So pay attention to privacy settings, right? Fairly important for your personal information. I think that everybody's interested in protecting. Well, there you have it. How to change privacy settings on the iPhone and iPad. So keep your life a little more private, if you know what I mean. That's The Sitch with Big Rich. Watch some of my other iPhone and iPad help videos, and please subscribe and help me out to catch future releases on more help from iPhone and iPad.